Hi,
So,
Okay, so let's wait for a few more minutes before we can start. Let's keep the um, initiation time to 2:10. 4 more minutes left.
yeah, Akash. So, team, this is not going to be a lecture class. So, let's let's connect virtually. Let's talk to each other. Let's understand what do you think we can drive this community to how far. So, please feel free to turn on your camera. Be casual. Um, it's not going to be a preparation or anything where we will be doing one-way conversation. And since this is a kickoff event, I thought of being the first speaker. But soon we will have many of you coming up as the um tech meetup speaker, fireside chat, or panel discussion, use case discussions, demos, so on and so forth. Okay, so Dinesh, while you have still few more minutes, let's interact. Akash, can you please introduce to the community?
I'm from Prodevans.
Oh,
Hi,
Akash,
Deepak.
hey, good afternoon, buddy. Why don't you
Good
turn on
afternoon.
your camera, right?
Sure.
Yeah, thanks. So Akash works in Prodevans. Okay, so I'm going by alphabet, so please don't mind. Akshay, Akshay,
Hey, hi Deepak.
hey, buddy. Akshay, please introduce what do you do, where you work.
Okay, so hi, this is Akshayvani. So overall, I have now 3 years of experience in IT industry, and currently
Mhm.
I'm associated with Infosys and
Fantastic.
working on OpenShift platform as of now
Okay.
for solving different issues which developers face or deploying their applications or whatever issues come in on the platform basically.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's about me.
Very nice. So thanks, Akshay, for joining the first meetup session of the year. So um, Ali, over to you.
Hi, this is Ali from Prodevans. Uh, right now, I'm working on ICIC Bank support on OpenShift platform. Either I do training too also.
Mhm.
This is me.
Okay, cool. Amol.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon all. Myself Amol, working in Prodevans, and currently I'm working on the Tanzu Kubernetes platform. Yeah,
Thank you, Kubernetes. Fantastic. Thanks, Amol. Anil Kumar Agrawal.
Hey, hi everyone. This is Anil from India. I'm a co-founder of Hills. Uh, 20 years around experience in IT as an architect level. What we do, we are an ad tech company, and we
Mhm.
see a lot of future coming on container. Right, all clouds will move
Okay.
mostly on container. So that's
Okay.
why I'm exploring my hands on Kubernetes and passing the same learning, to others. Thanks.
Fantastic. And Anil, you're based where?
My company is based on Noida. I work from Bangalore.
Okay. Okay. So I think I look forward to meet you in person sometime.
Sure, sure.
Chandra, Chandra D.
Hi, sir. This is Vicky Chandra Das. I work for Prodevans only, sir, from
Okay.
Protect.
Okay, cool. Okay, so in the sequence, it comes, after Chandra, my name comes. So I'm Deepak Mishra. I'm the founder and CEO of Prodevans, and thought of starting this community where we can, share our work. We can learn from others and have a social connect with people on Kubernetes calls. So thanks again for joining us in the first meetup event. Uh, Next on the row is Deepak Verma. Hey, Deepak Verma. Oh, Deepak exited. Dinesh.
Hey, so this is Dinesh Behra. I work in Prodevans as a DevOps engineer, and I mainly work on Ansible. Looking forward to learn a bit more on containerization and orchestration.
Mhm.
That's all for me.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Dinesh. G. Hegde G.
Hi, my name is Gajanana. Yeah, I
Hey,
am
Gajanana.
working for Aruba Networks. So basically, I am working as a Java application developer. So
Okay,
uh, we containerized our application and we run the workloads on Kubernetes. Basically, I work as an application developer, backend developer.
backend application developer. Fantastic. And Gajanana, you're based which city?
I am based out of Bangalore.
Fantastic. So the next meetup we will try to keep in person. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Next in the line, Jaya. Jaya, quickly introduce. Okay. So then Mitali.
Hello everyone, this is Mitali from Prodevans Technology. I worked as a technical consultant in EXL technology and I am working on the EKS Kubernetes platform, exposure to OpenShift and deal with various CF tools over there.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Mohandeep.
Hi, Deepak. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon.
Okay, so I'll give my introduction to everyone. Good afternoon. So, folks, my name is, you would have seen it. My name is Mohan Deep. I've recently joined Prodevans Technologies and I'm working as a project manager. And one of the strategic initiative that we're working for a client is related to DevSecOps and analytics platform wherein we are utilizing Kubernetes. So the reason for me here is to learn from the session, from the community as to how and everything would be working out with Kubernetes.
Fantastic. Thanks, Mohan. We'll be keen on learning something from you as well.
Sure.
Okay, so I'll now switch to the um, alphabet was last. So Jeenat Khan. Then we will come back to uh, alphabet N. Jeenat. Okay. Jeenat is not speaking. Jakir Hussain.
Hello.
Hey, Jeenat, go ahead.
Hello. Yes, sir. I currently, my name myself Khan Zinat. I have completed my education in masters in IT. Currently, I have joined Prodevans as an intern.
Okay, cool.
I am from Mumbai. I have joined the
Fantastic.
Mumbai team.
Fantastic. So we have Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad. Any other cities? Let's see. Jakir.
Hello, Deepak sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Zakir Hussain from Prodevans, Hyderabad. I joined a couple of months to Prodevans. I am currently engaged with ICICI Bank on OpenShift. So we mainly support day two ops.
Mhm.
That's all for me for now. Thank you.
Thanks, Jakir. Vijay. Next is Vijay.
Hey, hi everyone. This is Vijay. Uh, I'm a part of Prodevans. I'm handling Chief Delivery Office in Mumbai, uh, and I'm looking forward this session. That's it.
Okay. Vaishnavi.
Hi, I'm currently working as a DevOps in Lenskart, and we are also working on Kubernetes. We are working on EKS, AWS. So I'm also looking forward for this session, so that I can observe some good points to build my career.
Fantastic. Udit.
Hello everyone, myself Udit Jha. So I've been with Prodevans since last 1.5 years. So currently I'm working with the Red Hat as a Red Hat consultant dealing with the project RBI where I'm working on OpenShift, micro and apart from that service and cloud other technologies. So that's it for myself.
Okay. So next to Udit is Tapashri. Tapashri. Shweta. Shailesh.
Hello,
Shweta,
Deep.
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, this is Shweta, and I'm working with Prodevans. I'm assisting Mohandeep for EXL technologies on analytic platform. I'm exploring a bit of containerization. I'm RHCE certified on RHEL 7. I'm conducting training on RHCSA RHEL 8 at Prodevans, and looking forward to go ahead on OpenShift journey. So that's the reason I'm here to learn.
Fantastic. So thanks, Swati. Shailesh, please give your
Sure.
introduction.
Hello, Deepak. Hello, everyone. So I work for IBM. I mainly work on OpenShift and Docker. Looking forward to learn from this session.
Okay. So what I see a common theme is many of them have started with OpenShift and Kubernetes. Um, I found some developers are on Dockerization of the application, and everybody is keen on learning something. Uh, Fantastic. And I see some trainers have also joined. Shanvaz.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shanawaz. I'm working for IBM. This is my first meet on Prodevans, and I would love to learn Kubernetes, Docker containers. I'm working on OpenShift and somehow Kubernetes and all. So this is
Fantastic.
my initially learning phase in these technology, but I have experience on VMware, cloud, and all.
Excellent. Excellent. So thanks, Shanvaz, spending your valuable Saturday with us. Ritesh.
Hello everyone, I'm from Prodevans, currently working as a Kubernetes and OpenShift solution and consulting part, and as well as I am supporting in the same for OpenShift.
Fantastic. Thanks, Ritesh, taking our time. Rachna Yadav.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Myself Rachna. I'm working with EY as an information security analyst, a part of DevSecOps team. So I just came here to learn more about the Kubernetes to give a kickstart for that.
Excellent. I'm sure, Rachna, you will, be connected with the community, and we have a long-term objective which I'll talk about. So we'll make things happen. Prabha.
Hi everyone, I'm Prabha here. I work for Juniper Networks as a technical writer, and I've been working on documenting containerized applications, especially Kubernetes. So I've been trying to learn as much as I can by myself, and I'm just curious to know what other people are up to. Thanks.
Yeah. So I think Prabha, being as a content writer, we would like to know how to make good content for Kubernetes and different Kubernetes community product and the ecosystem. And I'm sure you will learn from others as well.
Look forward to it, sir.
Nrsimha.
Hi everyone, this is Nursing Acharya from Hyderabad, Prodevans. I have worked as a technical consultant in JBoss administration. Currently, I'm working as a trainer in Hyderabad course. Yeah, and learning OpenShift and going forward.
Thank you. Nityanand Panda. Okay, so we just have few, Nagendrappa.
Hi, good afternoon. Yeah, so I'm working at Oracle. Okay, I'm based out from the Bangalore. Okay, I'm working as a cloud at customer principal support engineer. I'm using most of the Kubernetes services. As of now, I'm working with the EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service. Just I want to know what are the other features Kubernetes has introduced. Just I'm curious to know that other service as well as.
This is Nityananda. Sorry, somehow I got disconnected. Am I audible?
Yep.
Hey, hi. This is Nityananda. Regional sales manager from Hyderabad Prodevans office. Earlier, I worked as a manager for training. As I'm reaching out as far as sales is concerned for different clients and customer, we are hearing much about the recent development in Kubernetes as a service that they want. So this session should I should be looking forward to learn actually what should be my basic technical understanding to showcase in front of our customers and clients. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Nitya. So we have got different kind of audience today, right? Okay, we have content writer, intern, engineer, developer, business owner, and trainers, right? So are there any other persona you have? Please message on the chat. If your persona is not matching to, I think we got some network engineers as well, right? I'll put them on engineers, right? So if your persona is matching to one of these, okay, it's absolutely fine. If it is not matching, please write your persona in the chat so that we can make the conversation better. As I said, I have been, promoting OpenShift and open source Linux for many years, and I'll talk about my story later. But since this is a community where learning from each other is one of the key goal, and I see people have already started working, Kubernetes, OpenShift, Dockerization of application, so on and so forth. So let's bring this conversation to little deeper, right? And today, I'll talk about how you can build enterprise Kubernetes strategy for yourself in terms of the career development, in terms of organization, product development, product strategy, so on and so forth. So I have worked with the CXOs across the globe, and you might have realized, there are many consultants who have joined from Prodevans. They are already on OpenShift and Kubernetes support, but I had my own, career, technical career, where I have worked as a product owner, I have worked as a transformation leader, I have worked as a technical resource person, including to the training and certification. So I have seen things have been changing, shaping up in Kubernetes. So I thought that, okay, why not we discuss how today emerging cloud native environments, Kubernetes is everywhere. So we'll make this as a free flow. So when I'm talking, I may ask questions. You may, have the conversation, discuss a little deeper, and you may put your questions on the chat. And I expect Dinesh or some volunteer can share the Google form so that you submit your details. We can ship a t-shirt. The first thing we can do is ship a t-shirt to each of you as part of the community membership registration. And we have plans to also make sure we will promote expertise, and we will call those experts as Kubernetes captain. And we have various role in the community. I would take a back seat from the next session onwards, so that some of you take charge of the community and drive this forward. We can have many different kind of guests invited who can come from different product companies and support companies and talk about Kubernetes or share their experience or share their work. So please fill up the form, Dinesh, if you can share, so that we will have more volunteers, contributing to it. So let's talk about how Kubernetes is everywhere, and you can also share your thoughts. So the trend, if I look at, right, so let me talk about the significance of the trend, the adoption trend of Kubernetes, right? I see that it's because Kubernetes makes it easier to manage the software complexity. It increases the agility and efficiency of the software development teams. Some of you who are software developers would understand that, okay, how difficult it is to do the releases, right? And today in the digital information technology system, time is everything, right? So it has picked up the momentum because it helps to increase the productivity of the team. It reduces the cost for the organization to finish the development. It cut down the risks, as well, and it makes or move the organization to a faster trajectory to achieve their product development goals, product releases quicker and faster. So there are myths, there are facts we can discuss. You can bring those problems if you are facing. We can discuss okay how it is being solved elsewhere. And as I told you, Kubernetes help to manage the software lifecycle. It helps the development and operation teams to work, collaborate, and get the work done quicker and faster. Um, if any one of you have done the packaging of the software in a Kubernetes environment, you can share your experience. So it also makes consistent, predictable way of packaging and delivering the products, right? So is this is a platform for developers, or is this is a platform for ops engineers, or is this is a platform for both? We can have a healthy debate, on this, whether only the developers should work on Kubernetes, or the ops engineers will work on Kubernetes, or both can get benefited, right? But is this is an advantage or it is a danger, right? Because Kubernetes is everywhere today. So I'd like to know, few examples from you where Kubernetes is used. So can one of you tell, okay, which area Kubernetes is being used? I think I have heard people working in Juniper, people working in Oracle, people working in the banks like ICICI, Indus, several other organizations. They've already talked about the Kubernetes. So can you tell where you have seen Kubernetes working, and are there any places which you want to talk about where Kubernetes is working and others do not know about it? If you don't want to talk, you want to message, please do message. We just want to understand, okay, where Kubernetes is being used. Which area you see that, okay, Kubernetes is very prominent. Come on. Banking, yes. Banking, finance, that's one, area. Okay, Amol, banking. So let's see what our community says.
Am I audible?
Yes.
I'm not getting the sound. I don't know.
Parvinder, we
Check
can
the
hear you.
settings.
We can hear you. Am I audible, guys?
Yes, you are.
Yes, yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so we, as of now, we heard banking and telecom. Can we get more examples of Kubernetes uses? Supply chain. Okay. Kirumules, can you give an example of supply chain where Kubernetes is being used? Trading, yes. It is applicable to the environments where scalability is important. It's really a great point.
Deepak, I think this is not a
Rajiv.
valid question. I mean,
Okay,
Kubernetes in the
everywhere.
terms it's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Why it is? Because I mean, there are two flavors of Kubernetes basically. One is like self-managed Kubernetes, where anybody who is dealing with any infrastructure, right, wanted to move in containerized model. That's where Kubernetes come into picture. And some services are extensive nowadays, like AWS, Azure. They are giving a managed service. So if you don't want to manage yourself, that basically taken care by them. So
Yeah.
couple of product I can talk about. For an example, like nowadays in market there are so many middlewares, right? And they are saying zero code based
No code.
integration
Yeah.
tools, right? So they sometime offer the container service, and they want to put their product on a container service, so it will be easy to manage. And hardware management is quite easy because a lot of services being offered. So that is the future. That's why Kubernetes into market. And upcoming where we moving towards serverless, right? There definitely this containerization will put more importance roles there.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
Anil,
going to come.
you have actually brought a great point, right? Okay, when we talk about putting your organization strategy and your priorities, building or developing Kubernetes skills, right? You should also understand where in the organization Kubernetes is used. And you have put it in very nicely that you can segment the Kubernetes uses. One is self-managed environment, another is the hosted environment. Correct, Anil?
Correct.
So the self-managed environments are the early starters. I remember when I was initiating this program in 2016, we had to build our self-managed clusters, right? And those were pretty much hand built, you can say. We definitely explored OpenShift, we explored Rancher, we explored the community Kubernetes, but they were all for the purpose of self-managed. Okay, and there are tools, right? If you know the tools which helps the self-managed KDS, please put it on the chat. The hosted Kubernetes, which Anil, you have highlighted, that how service offerings have become easier for the players, right? Because Kubernetes, you need not invest on managing them, right? It's being managed by Google, it is being managed by Amazon, it is being managed by Azure, it is being managed by DigitalOcean, it is being managed by several big players in the market, and the management piece is being taken care. Users consume it, right? I think that is where industry is moving, and that is why the adoption is much quicker and faster. But skill wise, when we talk about the skill development, uh, service area where self-managed Kubernetes skills are much in demand. Anil, do you agree to that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So people, those who are administrators, want to have hands dirty than self-managed Kubernetes to understand how Kubernetes works. But if you are a business guy and you want your service to be launched, or you want to consume your services, or where you see the scale, then hosted Kubernetes. Okay. I think that's a very right way to put Anil, the way you have explained. Um, are there challenges? Are there challenges with respect to the self-managed? If you're facing challenges related to your skill, related to your cluster upgrades, related to the life cycle of the cluster, related to sizing of the cluster, related to architecting the cluster, the self-managed one where you hand build the cluster. If you have been facing challenges, please put your questions on the chat, right? We will try to answer, because this is our first interaction, but we will try to answer them for you. Syed has mentioned that, okay, is it deployed directly on physical servers or on VM or another virtualization platform? Answer is all three. It is Kubernetes can be deployed on physical, can be on a virtualized environment or virtualization platforms like KVM and hypervisors of VMware. Also on a hybrid model. That means, okay, you can have mix of bare metal and hypervisor based or any cloud, it can be. So where do you see your contribution to Kubernetes, or your role on Kubernetes in now to 5 years? So let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about where will you be getting onto your career, your organization's objective on Kubernetes for the short term, like 6 month, 1 year, and the long term 5 year. Okay, can somebody throw some light?
Since nobody is talking, I'll take a lead.
Yeah, Anil.
Okay. So basically, in current market, right, the migration to Kubernetes itself is the biggest challenge, right? Because most of the clients, right, either they are into their own data center, or few people are in cloud struggling to manage without container, and couple of products are failing because they are not advanced to Kubernetes. So coming up 2 years at least, the market will be boomed for migration towards Kubernetes. So if anybody is having a good hands-on and good understanding at architecture level, definitely they can do really well in business as well as in their jobs.
Migration to Kubernetes, from traditional to Kubernetes, or unmanaged containers to Kubernetes, right? You might be knowing that, okay, the developers are easy to handle their codes on containers, but when you have so many containers, unmanaged container environment or the traditional environment, if you know the trades or the secret of how to migrate the workload to Kubernetes, then you are the king in your career. Good. Any other thought? It's an open discussion. As I have told at the beginning, that uh, we will. So, what is the outcome of this community day, right? We will prioritize our next few months what topic we will bring, right? So, like I did kick off building the intent, right? Uh, and let us say Ali may say that, okay, I will take charge of certifying people on Kubernetes. Let us say Mitali says that, okay, I will talk about DevSecOps running on Kubernetes. So each of you can take one topic lead and drive the discussion going forward. And I take the back seat, and I'll facilitate, or I'll connect with people. I'll invite people from industry, experts globally to this forum, and they give their thought, or they share their expertise, or troubleshoot your problems. But what we are expecting today is build that intent. Why are you here? Why would you spend? If you're already an expert, are you connecting with people and spreading your knowledge that you are an expert? How do people know that you are an expert? If you are a beginner, how will you learn quicker and faster? Through community. If you are having some challenges at work, as technology is evolving on a very rapid path. So how will you handle that kind of change? So we will solve each of them. Okay, so going back to my question, any other example where you think Kubernetes would be helpful for you? I'm not talking about anybody else.
Yeah, even actually, let me explain. Actually, especially in the migration part in the Kubernetes is very useful. Okay, so whenever the developer has changed the code, so we can easy to migrate. That is very useful in the Kubernetes. Okay, so it is going to create a replicas, new replicas without a downtime. We can bring the new application to the end users. So in case if it does not work, so actually we can easy to revert back the older version. That's what actually great future in the Kubernetes. That's what even I'm feeling. I'm happy to work on this particular service.
Are you working on the application app migration to Kubernetes?
Yeah, from actually whenever the developer release the new versions, so yeah, we are implementing actually new version to the application side. So during the times migration part is very easy compared to the other services. So
Okay.
if we can easy to migrate okay without
Okay.
a downtime.
Okay. So I would like to give some different prospect to it. A lot of
Moreover,
people, yeah, go ahead.
Moreover, we are using Kubernetes for the CRD, custom resources management. That is the big advantage in the field of networking, where you can push your objects there and you can utilize. That is how we are using it. CRD, we call it CRD.
CRD, customer resource development. This is what you
Custom resource.
custom resource. Okay. Resource management
Definition.
definition. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
So hi Deepak, Udit this side.
mhm.
So I just wanted to add couple of points. So if we will use the
Udit, you have anything on CRD?
yeah, so it's a custom resource definition. In short, if I talk about basically a couple of you see like resource quota and the other things like network policies and some permissions kind of stuff. That those things you can use. So this comes under the CRD only. Apart from that, the application adoption, right? If you, some of the customers, right, if you want to convey them, ki boss on a Kubernetes, you can easily, basically, they can adopt their application to be onboarded on the Kubernetes. For example, if you are deploying the application on a VM, you have to take care of the all the dependency and the other things, right? But for the Kubernetes, in terms, it will provide you the platform where you can deploy the any kind of applications.
Okay.
Now the new thing in the Kubernetes which comes, you can also create the virtual machines that you can use.
Create, manage virtual machines
And
by
apart from that, the one of the most thing of the helpful thing of the Kubernetes part is suppose let's say I talk about one example. Ki if I have to make one system, deploy one thing, so in that term I have to take care about the entire thing. Like what should be the IP, what should be the port, right? What kind of dependencies I have to be installed, how end customer will going to access those applications, right? So these are entire things which comes under the orchestration, right? So that is the thing which is doing by the Kubernetes. You don't have to worry about what are the IP you are getting, how that IP will coordinate with that application, right? So directly you just need to deploy it. You'll get a one service. You those service using that service you can create a route, and using that route you can easily access your application. You need not about to worry ki how you need to manage the IP and port and the load balancing other stuff. So it helps easier. So basically, anyone can do the deployments and the other things. You don't have to get to know on a deeper side. Ki boss, I have to know about the networking. I have to know about the coding part. I have to know about the deployment part. So that this is a very easier. That's what I'm just trying to convey.
okay. Thank you. So that's how we get to hear what you are thinking. But my question is, where do you see your career shaping up short term and long term on Kubernetes, right? How many of you think that in India, um, Kubernetes operation, right? It's the day two operation is having a huge skill shortage. If you think, please raise your hand or say yes, you agree. Because I personally feel, being in industry for so many years and supporting so many customers globally by my team, I personally feel that uh, what we are lacking in this country, not able to start pragmatically our career of managing the customer infrastructure developers expectations from the level 0 and level 1 kind of jobs. Okay. So would you like to know that what kind of role, or what would be the day-to-day activity one should be doing if you are a level 0 or level 1 Kubernetes operator? Did you understand my question? Yes, no? Okay, so let's. So, so do you think, okay, that's the easiest way to start for the beginners? Could be, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
because we all talk about complex things first, but we somewhere forget. For example, you learned alphabets before you learning word, and you learned words before you learning making statements. You learned, making statements before you started writing articles. Correct? So, what about the organizations who are already on this journey and they are looking at people who can ensure that their infrastructure, their platform is a healthy, stable, and it is live? Because I saw people talking about Kubernetes being used in supply chain management. Kubernetes is used in banking, payments, everywhere, right? Connected cars, we have plenty of examples in media, entertainment, plenty of examples, right? Where this is crucial. So there's no such organization who is not putting a strategy on adopting Kubernetes, whether it is self-hosted, self-managed, or it is, public cloud hosted. Then what are the L0, L1 engineer role? Anyone wants to throw some light? Do you think, okay, we should do a session on this?
Yes, I want to say something about this concept, and we should accept Kubernetes or OpenShift. They are complex, they are complicated. We are talking plenty about it because we are working on it. Then we know the concepts and we know how to manage. Either we did some mistakes, but we got experience, and next time we will not do it. But if you come to the customer's view or the other guys from the outside, this platform is complex and dangerous platform. Our experience, Zakir and I, in the ICICI is without get confirmation through us, they will not press enter. They will ask me or Zakir, or what is the command? Okay, this is the command. Step by step, they will ask, and at least they will ask, shall I press enter? Yes, press enter. Nothing will happen. Then, based on this one, yes, we need some people more to support data operation for the customers, and so this is mandatory to bring more people into these data operations, because in the customer's view, on the other technical either guys, out of this containerization and Kubernetes and OpenShift, this platform is not easy platform. It's a complex platform, and maybe with the one wrong enter, something will happen on the cluster. The answer is yes.
Okay, so as a community mentor, I would say my job will be to make Kubernetes easy peasy to manage rather making it complicated. Okay, so is it easy or complex? Okay, I'll give you a story. I and one of my delivery senior person, we were in front of the customer, and customer said that, okay, the days were good when we had few virtual machines and running Windows workload, and they are running a cluster, and they were working fine. But now with Kubernetes, there are a lot of chaotic situations, right? So that is another reason why I thought we will build this community. and we should not have limitation of knowledge within the organization and outside of the organization, where customer will give this kind of statement that I had a better experience when I was non-Kubernetes customer. Now I have the bad experience because things are complicated here. If you agree to this, please raise your hand or say yes on the chat, so that we will be focusing on how we convert the complex, scenarios of Kubernetes to make it easy to manage or handle. Because most of you who have been working with me, you know what kind of complexity you are dealing already, right? And how you can simplify that complexity for your future generation, for your customer, for the people who want to begin their career. Because if you have taken 2 years or 1 year to master, Kubernetes, not necessarily that a person who started yesterday will take 2 years. I'd like to do that in a couple of weeks or few months, not beyond that. So one was to understand the role of a level 0 to level 1 engineer before the person goes into the day 2 operation L2, right? And support the change management in the organization where Kubernetes is involved. And another is how you make Kubernetes adoption easier for yourself, for the customer, for the companies where you will be working. Okay, so that will also be a priority of the community to solve the problems in such a way that many of you will take benefit of it. Did anyone talk about how Kubernetes help the developers, emphasizing on CI/CD integration? So there are two areas where I want to see a lot of people should have hands-on experience. One is monitor, manage stable Kubernetes environment. And the other area is help the developers in their continuous integration and continuous delivery. Anyone wants to talk about that? Can we keep this is also a subject for our future topics where we will be talking about? So we talked about here monitoring, health check, but now I'm talking about continuous integration and continuous delivery, right? So how you bring flexibility, delivering the tools which stitches, multiple tools for continuous integration where the build happens and the continuous deployment and delivery. So anyone wants to throw some light on this?
Yep. So did they said couple of things there. So there you asked two questions, right? First thing, how it helps for to the developers. So initially, what happening was the developers has to wait, right, to get that platform where they can deploy their applications. That is the major challenge where it helps. They need not about to worry about the platform. They just need to develop a code and deploy that code into that container.
Okay, so developer experience on continuous development. Okay, this can be a topic, I agree. Okay, how many of you also understand that how microservice works? Microservice development.
Yeah. So also I want to put some point here. For
Only not
example,
you.
okay.
anyone who is a developer and understand and want to take charge for talking in the community or inviting people to the community who can speak about microservice development. Yes, no. Mhm. Okay, so should we drop this topic? Do you think, okay, it is going to be part of our community activity, or since we are building the intent today?
Yes, it is. Let me add my points here. So first thing, I'm going with the Udit's point. I'm adding something on the CI/CD part. So I can say, okay, software built in the GitLab, we can use for continuous integration pipeline, and we can deploy to the Kubernetes as a part of continuous deployment stage. And Kubernetes also can manage the batch job execution that are linked to the GitLab instance. And GitLab instances are themselves can be run as a on the Kubernetes cluster. Next thing, next point I can see here, that is microservice. What are the key benefits of the Kubernetes on the microservices architecture? Like we can focus on faster deployments or scalability of our applications. Like someone at the point sometimes that replication controller or replica sets can manage that one. And definitely there is no vendor login is there, and dynamic talent pool we can use as the microservices architecture benefits using the Kubernetes, which required the development effort to very less development effort to scale up our applications. And next to that, sometime before, I don't recall the name, Parvinder, if I'm not wrong, he added some point that custom resource definition. So I elaborate some part of that. So custom resource is what we all are aware of, the basic resources like Kubernetes pod, node services, and we can do the deployment with the kubectl command or web user interface. As I exposed to some of the various CMCF tool, so custom resource means our all knowledge. Either we are a developer, or we are a system administrator, or we can operational team people. So all the application knowledge we can codify, and that technology is known as operator. To manage that one, we are using the custom resource or custom controller, we can say. So operator will directly from the community operator, you can say, or from the some certified operator we can purchase with the license, and managing our infrastructure. That point I have to add here, which will Kubernetes give. And regarding the no code low code thing, you can say, or with the Helm or Helm chat, we can manage our deployment easily. So these are the features make the Kubernetes to the next level. So where we can see all our means all the organization or customers are demanding with their infrastructure to be all the application to be containerized, to be scalable. And definitely this thing is achieved with the orchestration tool. Even if we go for OpenShift, also it is under the hood, it is using the Kubernetes itself. That's
Okay.
more, that's point I have
So,
to add.
I'll have to break it because we have mixed audience here, Mitali. Um, if I would be a beginner, like an intern or an engineer, and I am expecting my career to get kickstart, and I'm already a Kubernetes engineer, and I want to get the expertise in design and solutioning, or I have got somebody who is a content writer and she wants to. So, as a community, community is not about only experts. Community is not about only beginners, right? Okay, we need mixed talent, right? So, um, so I was thinking loud that we should have a session on the microservice development principles and standard, right? So that the developers, when they develop, they use the code base, they understand the dependency resolving automatically during the build. They use the config management, which you talked about, Mitali, in their environment, so that the build and deployment happens quicker and faster, including taking version control, backing the services and the packages, build, release, and run, how to make services stateless versus stateful, the code binding. So there are several principles which actually influence the development, and the uh, best practice of deployment, right? That's
Absolutely.
application deployment. Okay, so I'm just listing down these things because what is the outcome of this meetup is we will list the things what we should be doing going forward, and we will pick up the topics which is relevant to the people. How Anil gets benefit out of it, how Ali gets benefit, how Vijay gets benefit. Everybody should find their intent uh, for being in the community and get the benefit only when we try to solve problem for all, right? And then my job is to moderate. My job is to build that intent that okay, we will line up the topics through the experts who have done this job before. For example, like the beginners, like interns, and they want to get into and intern non-developers. Can they be, onto the monitoring, health check, management of Kubernetes? Means somebody who understand okay how to take the nodes of resource utilization, the node health checks, right? Understand the basics of Kubernetes and can do a day job, right, for a few months before he gets into the building and architecting solutions, right? But first, he need to be hands-on into the cluster operation. If it is self-managed, and some people who are developers, okay, can they do microservice development based on certain principles so that it is appreciated by the organization. Okay, so let's switch to another part of our conversation. In an organization, most of you are employed. Anyone who is unemployed, please put your name. We will try to contact you and get you a job if you have required skills. If all of you are employed, so tell me who should actually influence, decide that okay, Kubernetes should be adopted in your organization. Did you understand my question?
Deepak, I've got the question, but I would still like you to repeat the question once again for more clarity.
So we talked about you know the challenges and expectations, right? Okay.
Yep.
So this is my backlog. Okay. So Kubernetes meetup group will focus on these areas, right? Which I have already listed. Okay, I'll share this. Okay. My next question is, every organization, there must be a sponsor, leader, somebody who influence, right? So who actually owns the strategy? Like in my company, I can say I own, it was a choice, easy choice for me to put my company on, day to operation and doing, some mundane jobs by my guys, right? There are many companies in India, correct? But I choose that Prodevans should work or must work on Kubernetes and Kubernetes products, right? And with that strategy, today we are 170 people, where more than 100 of our employees work in one way or other of Kubernetes product, right? So similarly, many of you are employed or employee in some organization. I want to know that in your community, do you need influencers? Do you need, strategic people who drive Kubernetes adoption in their organization, or who can influence Kubernetes adoption?
Okay, I've understood the question. I'll try to answer that in a generalized way, since we have people here in the discussion from varied skill sets. So from an organization standpoint, and Deepak, you can correct me if I'm going somewhere else. One of the things that definitely puts the implementation in the picture would be the requirement, the use case for that. But more so, and that's true with any of the organization that we would see in the entire world, the gateway for something to be introduced to the organization would be the technology arm or the architecture team, who would be coming up with the business case, who would have the understanding, which is where they would want to start with the POC first, and they would want to build the setup from inside out.
Okay, so let's draw our career, map. So ops engineer, right? We had traditional jobs of Linux, Unix, Windows. Do you all agree?
Correct.
Right. Database, middleware, everywhere we had this L0, L1, L2, right, or L3, right? Then we have developers in the organization.
Yep.
Right. So we had .NET tech stack wise, right? Java. Now we are talking about microservice developer and mobile app development. Okay. So these are the jobs, correct? Now you talk about that there are architects. There are architects who actually decide that when to do a POC, correct? How to introduce the new technology.
Yeah. What would fit better for a particular solution?
So I think you're drilling your input here, right?
Correct.
My question is, these architects did not become architects overnight, right?
Correct.
Okay. So if you want to be an architect, one day you were an ops engineer or a developer, right?
Possibly, yes, that would be the correct to say.
Yes, but architects work on whose behalf?
Business. I mean, yeah, that's true.
Business, right?
That's correct.
So it's always not the correct answer that it is not my problem, right? It's architect who decides. This business, owners were also, one day they were either the developer or system engineer or salesperson or something like that, correct?
Correct. Okay.
Right. So my question is, who would influence in your organization that Kubernetes is required for our organization? See, we are talking about a community. Please understand, guys. And community means it should be self-sustainable, right? So if I have got, like Anil is putting a request, I need a freelancer trainer who would like to teach Kubernetes content management to freshers. If anyone is interested, please contact me. So Anil, this is an advertisement in the community you have posted. But is it like a strategy organizations run in their organization where the technologies are introduced, where business is influencing architects, sales influence business, right? And architects make developers and engineers work.
That's correct, Deepak. But
there might
to
be,
me,
yeah,
to
managers
me,
and
it's debatable. It's debatable. It's debatable whether it is the business which does the work or it is the architect. Because to
No,
me,
I'm not.
even if
I'm not saying who is doing the work. I'm saying who own the strategy. Things can be done on cloud. Things can be done on premise. Things can be done on a virtual machine, on a bare metal hardware. Still, things can be done.
I think there is a scrum meeting going, like everyone will visit, like architect, engineer, project manager, and the like business who business like who has a business, what are their requirements when they decide come to this
But who
something like
invests?
agile.
I
Uh,
believe
I want to add, I just want to debate
Who
with
invests?
Subha. So Scrum is a different thing. Scrum is not about the discussion about the part. Scrum is a different one where you are getting the projects and then you are assigning the project and you are delivering the projects.
I'll put it
I'm
in
talking
this way.
about the meeting.
sorry to
I'll,
interrupt you,
I'll,
folks.
yeah.
Sorry, Deepak. You wanted to say something, or should I go ahead?
Yeah, I wanted to put it slightly different way. I'm just opening up your mind, guys, right? Because for everything there needs to be dollar, correct? See, to run a scrum, you need a scrum master, correct? So,
Yeah.
end of the day, it's dollar, right? Which
Money makes
decides,
the world go round.
yes or no? So, why I'm saying in your community, we need influencers, we need strategic people, we need to invite and hear from them where the industry is moving and how you can be that influencer in your company to adopt Kubernetes best practices or Kubernetes as a technology introduction or Kubernetes making life easy. You're getting it? Because somebody need to influence, right? And that cannot be somebody else's choice. And everything is linked to dollar. If there are hundreds of people doing monitoring, one day one guy think of the dollar and say that, okay, why can't I do an automatic dashboard? You're getting it? Automatic tickets management system, right? If there are 20 people doing builds, right, packaging, one guy will take a call that why not I change the way it is working so that it will be futuristic. But who is that person? So do you need to build that mindset in you, which influence or which impacts the budget, which impacts the commercials, which impacts the dollar? Because our careers should not be on somebody's hand, rather it should be in your hand. Right? So that is another purpose of building the community. Community also need, right, influencers who would promote your work, who would also tell the company, right, your company or your future company or your erstwhile company to say that, hey, you need to start doing this, better, bigger, and smarter, right? So that was my thought process of introducing this question to you. Okay, it's not like, okay, it's not my job, somebody else's job. No, it's your job. If not today, tomorrow. Okay, so you are one of the actor today. Either you're an ops engineer, developer, or architect, or business owner, or salesperson. But how you become an influencer, how you become the strategy owner, that is also going to be the agenda this community will drive. Okay. Now,
Deepak,
yeah.
Deepak,
Yes.
yeah. Sweta, please go ahead. I'll go after you.
Yeah, I have a point to add here. Like, as you said, we should have influencers. So, my recommendation would be the influencer should be from level 0, so that for beginners also it becomes easy to understand, okay, this is the path where we start to learn from. Not at the high end level. The discussion should not start with the high end level. It should start with 0 to 1 stage wise discussion. The influencers part. I hope you are getting my point.
Yes. So you're telling Shweta how we can motivate people to uh, start small
Not
and go up.
motivating, actually, as you said that every organization, or we should have influences as in we observe somebody, okay, that person is doing so good in this technology, and that person from 0 level has scaled up to this particular level in a specific technology for a specific company. Is that what we are looking at, or it's something else we are looking at?
Okay, so that's a good point. Career planning, right? Uh, is
Yes.
something which we can add in our agenda for upcoming sessions, where we talk about how you can organize your career plans, and we would like to hear from others how they have done it, right, Sweta?
Yes, Deepak.
Fantastic. Okay, so career planning goes
Deepak,
into.
there is one more
Mhm.
thing, Mohandeep here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Deepak, earlier on, you had raised the point, the intent as to why we would be moving to a particular thing, which is where
Mhm.
you said that money is something which is what is being owned by the business.
Mhm.
That is what would be driving the requirement there. So, there is one more interesting point that comes into this picture, which I wanted to put here.
Mhm.
This would probably be related to the first 2 points that you've mentioned on the dashboard with respect to the migration to Kubernetes.
Mhm.
So one aspect is, so there are some solutions or there are some workloads which are already working on Kubernetes
Mhm.
without having a financial impact to an organization. How is it that we can enable a business function to move to Kubernetes while they're maintaining their BAU?
Okay. I'll relate to my story. I worked for a bank, and I had a team which was doing the production maintenance job, right? And
Mhm.
it is a very busy schedule for all of us because we were working on the releases, right?
Mhm.
And at one point, I realized that a lot of release automations can be done, and we were not having infrastructure budget um, to build those automation use cases, right?
Correct.
And that's when I learned something on the go, and I asked my team to build a proof of concept without deviating from our day job, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And once we have demonstrated to our stakeholders that my build and release is now 60-70% faster than
Mhm.
it used to be in a traditional way, where my 87 people who were working, right, for a large bank, commercial bank, my stakeholders agreed, and they said that, okay, are you sure we can, do this in a much smarter way? I said, yes, but now we need budget.
Yeah.
So we had to build MVP, okay, minimum viable product, by showcasing exactly the way it was expected to work inside an organization, but it is in a smarter way, right? So they were doing the traditional tools to, like, Team Foundation was used, right? We said, okay, we will be using GitLab, right?
Yeah.
So we gave alternate path, and we demonstrated alternate path on a Kubernetes platform, because you need not have so many virtual machines to build your tools in landscape, right? Or tools assets. So what we did is we built this container infrastructure on a Kubernetes platform and demonstrated that okay, it is working much faster, quicker, and in a very cost-effective way. Then we went and asked for budget, we got it.
Yeah, so that absolutely that
So,
is
and I was not a budget owner by the way. Okay, I just took the
okay.
courage to um, you know
To put forth the idea.
yeah. If I would have waited, I would have waited forever.
So that part, I mean, that's a brilliant point for sure. That is going to help them make a decision. So that the point is basically about that you're making up here is with respect to how it is that you're going to save some money in future with automating and with introducing a particular technology.
Not necessarily automation. You said my current job should not get impact, and I also do not have the
Yeah,
budget. How will I create the intent in my stakeholders that what I'm saying is correct?
that's
See,
correct.
there are two kind of people, around us. One
Mhm.
who preach, another who does and demonstrate. People believe in whom?
Yeah,
It's easy to
I get
preach.
that. Yeah,
So
yeah,
there are hundreds of videos, documents on internet which says that how things have changed. But have you done by yourself the change? If if you are not technical, have you see? I don't expect myself solving the problem, but I can take somebody who can do my MVP, and I can demonstrate to my stakeholders, and they make them believe. I make them believe. Then I ask for a budget, they will put the budget. I ask for training, they'll give training. You getting it? So this is the growth mindset which community has to believe in our community members so that when they go back to their job, they look at the opportunities around them and they build the MVPs, demonstrate to these stakeholders, and talk about the change rather only talking about the change or complaining about the change. Are you getting it?
correct, Deepak. Yes.
Yeah. So my team was always coming to me saying that we are doing night shift, we are doing 24 hours or sometimes 36, 72 hours of release support. We are not getting a good work-life balance because our things are all at stake during the release time, and at that time we are not able to focus on the production issues, right? I said let's
Mhm.
automate it, but automation cannot happen overnight, that in a bank, commercial banks, right? So we had to take this MVP approach, and it wasn't possible by me. I had to take help of many young engineers who could able to learn things on the go and demonstrated by putting pipelines, building the infrastructure, all in a uh, minimum um, capacity, right? You should not ask for millions of dollars. Okay, so I'll park this topic for now, but
Sure,
I
absolutely.
think you agree that
Mhm.
community should help the community members how to make a minimum viable product, how they touch and feel, right? That uh, the new way is faster and better or easier than the old way. Okay,
Correct.
fantastic.
Sure.
Um, what are the disputes? Conflicts? Are you getting these kind of problems? Means um, organization is on AWS and you are talking about Kubernetes. Organization is on Azure, you are talking about Kubernetes. Organization is already investing on VMware, large infrastructure upgrade. you're talking about Kubernetes.
I believe in the last part, we were talking about the business aspect of the migration. Now we're talking about the technical aspect of migration.
Yes.
How do we make that change without
Yes.
interrupting the current pipeline, what we have for the product?
Yes. Yes. So to handle the disputes and conflicts, you should understand the frameworks, right? Uh, Best practices. Conflicts mix. Okay, how will you participate in those debates? Where people talk a lot of negative, or people talk about very large thing, but the small things have not started, and you want to do something which you are not getting a headway, right? So we should also focus on frameworks and best practices, architectural principles. Okay, like stretch cluster versus individual cluster, one node edge clusters versus multi-node. Because I do come across such debates where the person who just came from Kubernetes understanding will say Kubernetes need 3 master and X number of worker node, and the other person says no, I can run it on a Raspberry Pi. So a Raspberry Pi device, right? So frameworks, best practices, and principles should also be part of our community. Okay, so MVP as well as the standards, right? And these can be brought by the OEMs, ISVs, independent software vendors, original equipment manufacturers. Like we invite VMware, we invite Microsoft, we invite Red Hat, we invite um, OEMs, okay, and ask them to share their frameworks, best practices, principles, right? Because that will make your journey, quicker adoption. Okay, and the people, those who are part of this strategy, they will also get benefit, right? Because today what we are doing our community foundation, right? Treat that this is our foundation day. Okay, till the time Prodevans is an organization hosting this community, will not stop any of these activities. We will take the oath and we will promote this to make sure that all these are being really being practiced. Okay, not just for one or two, but for hundreds of people who are part of the community, and there is no commercial activity, right? We are not going to sell uh, anything here. It's to help. Okay, are you guys excited?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely,
Yes.
Deepak. By the way, I'm more
Yes.
excited about the t-shirt that you're wearing.
Yeah, I just got my t-shirt. And each of you, when you fill up the form, Dinesh, please share that form once again. So we will courier this t-shirt to you. Um, as soon as I just got it. As you know that, okay, you know, uh, uh, we got very less time to arrange ourselves. So we just got this t-shirt.
No
Oh,
worries. But
great.
nonetheless, Deepak, the topics that you have jotted down, I think so
Mhm.
that is going to be very interesting going forth, because
Mhm.
most of us, if not all, would be
Mhm.
coming up with the similar questions when we're working with the technology. So I believe more discussion that is going to happen on these topics would be definitely beneficial for everyone who's been there in the community.
Yeah.
Just one
And as you can
thing.
simply scan it to register and share your feedback.
Thanks, Dinesh. Okay. Uh, I had one more question to you all. We talk about Kubernetes, we talk about career in Kubernetes, we also talk about the different stages of evolution, our social commitment to be part of the community. Have you thought about the environment around Kubernetes?
I'd say that's the elephant in the room.
So, what is the environment? What is the ecosystem, right? Um, because our work influence a lot of areas. Or can you throw some light? Uh, if you've understood my question, right? Kubernetes is the infrastructure, um, which is Anil clarified. Either it is self-managed hosted or it is public cloud managed hosted, right? But my bigger topic is how about the ecosystem? How about the ecosystem, right? Okay, there are hundreds of products. Dinesh, can you share your screen? Kubernetes, um, you know, site, kubernetes.io,
Kubernetes.io.
right? Um, you would see that apart from, the product as a Kubernetes, there is a huge partner ecosystem, right? And they build, promote, run their product on Kubernetes, right? So that's the ecosystem I'm talking about. Okay. Yes. So, so I would like to hear from you what you would like to run on Kubernetes. Because if you say everything, that's not an answer. Because anything you want to run, you will have to learn. Learn, then run, right? I'll give you one example. Do you want to run ELK, Elasticsearch? Do you want to run GOGS, GitLab? So run and learn and run on Kubernetes, right? So can you guys throw some light? Okay, what all we should be adding into our ecosystem as a community member or as a community? Am I audible, guys?
Yes, you are audible.
Loud and clear, Deepak.
Yeah. So I want to have this conversation most powerful, where I want to know what you want to run on Kubernetes. Because that is also an area. Like, do you want to run a database? Do you want to run API? Do you want to run? So what do you, if you say everything is not going to help, right? Okay, it has to start somewhere. Okay. What do you want to run? Come on, guys.
Sir, as per task requirement, just last week I deployed ELK on Kubernetes and also Grafana with Prometheus. So that we get the task, and I just done with from the YouTube from I didn't know
So
about
you
like
know, right?
yes,
ELK has search, ELK has security, right?
Elasticsearch,
ELK,
FileBit, Metric
huh,
Bits,
ELK
Logstash,
has got observability monitoring, right?
and also like Kibana dashboard.
Kibana.
So everything, all dashboards will fall under monitoring, right?
Mm.
Security is, scan, prevent and detect and, treat, right?
So,
And search. So,
sir, I deploy this because like like my project manager wants to test for it. I don't know like which are the like tasks like Kubernetes. I did, but still I want to get to knowledge on Kubernetes that if I get the future any of tasks, so I can like prepare for that and like even perform very well on that. That's my
yes,
current situation
yes,
right now, and I'm a newbie right now in Kubernetes.
fantastic. I love to interact, and Shubham, you did a fantastic job helping your manager running ELK, Prometheus, Grafana, Kibana on Kubernetes, and you demonstrated to your customer, right? Uh,
Yes.
I, I want to know what else and how do we learn from each other? Means, can you demonstrate, okay, ELK in the next community event, right? And can somebody else demonstrate? See, means um, if I talk about each of these area, that is an opportunity for us to cover as a community, right? Means let me talk about um, running Kubernetes operation on the public cloud, right?
Okay.
So uh, so that could be a topic of the day, right? Running Kubernetes on AKS. So AKS has got again, two type, right? Okay, you have self-hosted, you have managed
Mhm.
Kubernetes there, right? Means on Azure. Similarly, on AWS EKS, self-hosted as well as managed, right?
Right.
Google, right? So that could be one topic for the day. Similarly, if you want the packaging, so you have got JFrog, you have got Docker Hub, you have got
Mm.
several product which is artifact repo kind of work it
Helm
does,
charts.
right? Helm chart. So similarly on database, right? Okay, there are database administrator who want to jump into Kubernetes career, right? Can
Okay.
they run database on Kubernetes, and can we as a community run that knowledge session? For example, running Mongo, running
MariaDB, Postgre.
MariaDB,
MongoDB.
running MySQL,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
so
Uh,
can we Redis, caching database? Can we do a session on that? So what I want to ask you is, what do you want to run? Do you want to run a database? Okay. Do you want to run a proxy? Do you want to run a repo? Do you want to run a so what
Registry.
you want to? So I want to know what you would like the environment or the ecosystem to run, and we should always do what? Learn, then run, right?
okay.
Again, learn and run. So that's the community, right?
Right.
So I want to see that, because when you guys are being brought into this community, don't think that I will have to build a Kubernetes cluster. I think many of you
Mhm.
think that way, isn't it?
Yes.
Huh? Many of you must be thinking that Deepak has invited means I'll have to do some cluster setup, right? But what I'm asking you is, can you be the chapter owner? Can you be the
Okay.
influencer? Can you
Yes.
be the host for?
Yes, sir. I can
Shubham.
perform. Like I want to say now. Uh, as I just performed that my task on like ELK, so my project manager asked me about what is Kibana, what is this logs, or what is this like a file bit is doing, what is this. So I do a little bit of research. Then I get to know Elasticsearch is like a little bit of like a that database server for logging. Like file bit is for like getting collecting the file data. Metric bit is collecting for the metrics. So like right now in the next week I have to perform and I have to explain like what is Kibana, what is like all this stuff file bit is doing and what type of log is this, what is audit log, all these stuff you can like connecting, right?
Subham, exactly. I'm adding to your point. In our project also, we are working with Fluentd, Splunk integration with the ELK and Kibana.
Okay.
So our team members are working with that, and I'm also exposed to that. And I configured the proxy server in the Kubernetes environment, and I tested with, except the Google, I just whitelisted all other host that not get internet connection. That is one sprint I did, and also our team members are right now Logstars. First, they are comparing with many of the tool, like I mentioned here, Logstars, ELK. As I heard this point, so Fluentd, Splunk, and finally we are taking over as EFK is not there. We are going with the ELK, and I also take some of your notes and how you did that one, and if it is
Okay.
our integration is successful, definitely we can coordinate that.
Yeah, so don't exchange notes in a private way.
Yeah, yeah. No, no,
I
no.
want
That's the idea. I just
I want
express that.
people to come and talk about how you successfully configure, run, right, demonstrate all of these areas, whether it is analytics,
Monitor.
Artifactory, running the code version control, running any other kind of container, running, Jenkins, running monitoring, uh, security, SonarCube, Vault, Hasika Vault,
Standard. Exactly.
CyberArk, you know. So I want, see, the community has to grow, correct? So think if anyone is a tester, how a tester finds her career in Kubernetes world, right? So can she run Selenium, JUnit, these kind of stuff, so that she has JMeter. I'm just trying to recollect, right? Cucumber, right? So how a tester becomes confident on Kubernetes, right? How a database administrator becomes confident in Kubernetes. How a beginner who is just fresh out of the college becomes confident in Kubernetes, because it's an ecosystem, right? So hope you guys understand. What do you want to run?
So sir, my question is about like you are here to like helping like all of us to
Yeah,
work on Kubernetes.
for example, if you come and say that Deepak, I own the chapter for monitoring, Subham,
Yes.
right? Then believe me, I will get the top two experts of ELK coming and talking in your community. How
Okay.
about this? Top two experts from ELK company, right? If
Okay.
Mitali says that, okay, I want to run CyberArk on Kubernetes, or I want to run Hasikoff Vault on Kubernetes, I'll get Hasikoff to come and speak in your forum.
Okay.
That's my role,
I got it.
right? So I am actually running a company where we have 37 different, companies are partnered with us. So we are a partner with Hasikoff, we are a partner with GitLab, we are partnered with, yesterday I was talking to a company. Do you know that, okay, Oracle Java is no more free?
Yes.
So there is a community called Azure, right? Alternative of Oracle Java. So I can get Azure come and talk to you guys, right? So, but I need that. It should not be Deepak and Deepak.
Okay.
I need owners, right? Chapter owners.
Got it.
That's why I said, okay, will you be the influencer? Will you be the sponsor? Right? Okay, tomorrow when you run the business, for example, I'll ask Anil, Anil, will you be the sponsor? Right? So
Uh,
I would like the community to be self-sufficient so that we have interest to
uh,
drive these things. And you come to me, I will get you the expert. Okay?
yes, sir. So like I'm also researching on this part, like how can I like grow on my career right now. So I saw on the YouTube there are a lot of influencers who are creating YouTube channels, creating on Discord server, creating like Telegram groups. They are like teaching
Okay,
freely.
I'll just answer to Anil that we will do a Discord group. Which one will be best? WhatsApp,
Discord is the best, sir.
Discord, right? So if you guys think Discord is best, vote. If you think WhatsApp is best, vote. But we will take a democratic decision today.
Okay.
Okay? Because I
Got
don't
it.
want to create a WhatsApp group and
But there are a lot of option in Discord, sir. Discord is much more like
no,
advanced.
I'm a big fan of Discord, right? So if you want Discord, so let's create a Discord group. Okay? Yeah, already it is being created, Dinesh. If it is being created, just share the channel, right?
It needs some work, so let me do
Okay.
that and then share it.
Okay.
So as long as they are filling up the registration form, I can still send them the links.
Okay. Okay. But hope I'm clear, guys, right? It is not
Yes.
one-way communication. It is you will have to contribute and consume. If you're just expecting only to consume, it won't be a community. Okay? Better you buy the services, right? Go to a training class and pay money and learn, right? Community means you have to contribute and consume, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we talked about the communication, um, and we talked about what you want to learn. Sorry, run on Kubernetes. We talked about that. Okay, my next topic. Um, how many of you know that when the world is moving so fast with Kubernetes distribution, right? Do you come across the organization where the multiple Kubernetes distributions are being used? Like VMware Tanzu is being used, OpenShift from Red Hat is being used, AKS is being used, EKS is being used. Do you see one organization using multiple Kubernetes?
Yes, sir. I think Kubernetes is already used by Google, and from like 2008 or even like before, they are working on containerization technology. And after they are as they make it open source, so like many industry and many companies are like accepting this only because Google
No,
is
let's keep Google aside. Okay,
okay.
I'm talking about a bank. Okay, I'm talking about Reliance's retail market, or I'm talking about Flipkart. I'm talking about Amazon. I'm talking about sorry, Target. I'm talking about organizations who are not product companies, but they use multiple Kubernetes. Multiple container platforms or container platform as a service. Have you come
Um,
across that?
many many companies are moving, but some companies are like staying with their own technology only.
No, I just want Subham, you take a back seat. I want the discussion to be little more deeper. How many of you are here who has seen there are various version of Kubernetes is being used within the same organization? Means one team is using AKS, one team is using EKS, okay? One team is using Tanzu, one team is using OCP, OpenShift. Are you coming across such kind of organization? I have come across. At least the company where I worked before becoming the founder, we had, oh my God, we had all kind of Kubernetes.
Yes, actually, in my company also where I'm working currently, we use AWS Kubernetes service and Google Kubernetes service. Actually, we have so many services.
Okay.
And
So are they strategically wrong?
Oh, I don't think, because I think they have some of the infrastructure they have already set up on AWS, and they are having new services wants to launch, and they want to use Google
Yeah,
Kubernetes.
so I just want to educate people that it is not a hard and fast rule that one organization, one Kubernetes, one large cluster. It can be a team can have their own clusters or the options to build and destroy the Kubernetes whenever they want. And when you have one organization having many environments, okay, many distributions, what will be the challenge, guys? Definitely there will be jobs, isn't it? Huh? Definitely there is a good job market, isn't it? Huh?
Absolutely, Deepak.
Yeah.
The other one
Yeah.
would be managing the vendor.
Correct.
And then there
So-
would be, you would have to manage the redundancy as well.
Yeah.
Difficulty in integrating with the services.
Yep.
Yeah, difficulty integrating the services. So how to handle integrations, how to handle control plane, how to
I think
handle
yeah.
life cycle management. Life cycle management means every 3 months you have to upgrade, right?
Version changing.
Yeah, I think
Version
so, Deepak, there is
changing.
one more thing that would be critical for us to understand what might be the challenge. Before that, we would have to see what would be the business case as to why we would have so many Kubernetes in single organization. Probably that will help us to know what the
Yeah,
challenges.
why organizations take that path rather
Yeah.
taking one path. Okay,
Correct.
that is a valid point. That we will discuss during this framework principles and all that, right? Okay, but at the same time, when the mess is being created, right, that's where service mess comes. So when you have so many Kubernetes environment, so many product vendors, and so many runners, right? So many run times, right? Then it's going to be chaotic, right? Yes.
That's
So
correct.
in this case, we will talk about Kubernetes hybrid Kubernetes management. Okay.
In a nutshell, Deepak, it will be chaos with a huge cost.
No, we can optimize the cost. We have. I'm not saying I'm giving the solution. I'm saying that okay, you see an opportunity in the market, and Prodevans sees that opportunity in the market. Each of you should have an opportunity in the market. So what I'm saying is, Kubernetes doesn't mean you need to build a large cluster. Then only you can start your career, right? You can start your career anywhere. Right? You can start your career integrating multiple Kubernetes. You can start your career only by lifecycle management. So, multi-hybrid okay, because I'll ask this question: What is your view? How much time does it take to build one Kubernetes cluster?
With minimum infrastructure.
Did I say minimum or maximum? I said
Doesn't matter. For me, it's 30 minutes maximum to bring it up.
Okay. So can I say that make, break, right, in minutes can happen, right? So that is why Kubernetes is now being shifted as the preferred platform for edge computing. in telecom, right? So you will not have the traditional towers, the server rooms. You will have edge nodes where on the fly things can be built. Okay, so minutes is the target, right? Few minutes. Okay, so it could be 15-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute, 10-minute, 5-minute, depend on the complexity. So earlier we were talking about scaling. Now we are talking about managing complex hybrid environment where make and break happens in minutes. So we will, as a community, we will focus on multi-cluster Kubernetes management best practices also. Okay, right? So anything else? Yeah, day two operation we talked about. Yes, guys. Day two operation. Yeah, day two operation, L1 engineer, right? So we will talk about the RACI, responsibility, accountability, consulted and informed, you know, for a L1, L2 engineer, right? So we will talk about that, and we will also demonstrate how it is being done in the organizations. Okay, training and certifications, capability. Okay, how many of you think that a professional training certification can help to kick off your career? We have how much minute? Yeah, we have overshoot the time, guys. So I just have two more topics to conclude. One is the training certification, and another is the security, right? So the community will also have chapter for security, right? How will you secure? Because many unsecured Kubernetes and running enterprise workload is risky, right? So we would need, anyone wants to throw some light on the Kubernetes security audit? So there is career on this as well. Okay.
I mean, on only security, Kubernetes security part, also someone can work or like.
Yeah. Okay. See, Prodevans is an organization who is working on all these areas. Okay. But I need more contribution, between Prodevans employees and the community members across organizations who can not only drive this discussion, also demonstrate and educate people on baselining, audit baseline security for not just for the clusters, but also the runtimes. Okay. And training certification, I think we can have trainers to drive that chapter as well, so that they can introduce the professional training and certification. I have promised. So the announcement before we wrap up, anyone who does at least 4 meetup topic, okay, invite 40 people to community, okay, run it physical or virtual, okay, will be considered as a captain. So that means a person speak on 4 different topics, okay, and invite 40 people, will be considered as the captain, and the captain will get a badge like this and a sponsorship of 58,000 rupees for his career training and certification from me as a sponsor till the time we are getting other sponsor to the community.
Deepak, different topics means on different tools or skills or from Kubernetes itself?
Can be anything.
Okay.
I think the number of topics are a lot, right?
Yes, so many. Yeah.
Huh? Correct? Technical, non-technical, budget, finance, best practices, right? So, see, the captain is the person who actually is not struggling to take the ship to the destination, right? Because Kubernetes carry the containers and the captain will carry the community, correct? So I need few captains, or over a period of time, many captains who are groomed in the community, can talk, can demonstrate, can invite, can influence. That is why I brought influence as a topic to discuss, right? So then we will consider that person as the captain. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Deepak, if you don't mind, I have one question, but I don't know whether it is relevant or not.
Please go ahead. Community will not mind at all.
Thank you. Actually, it's related to actually career path related question.
Yeah.
I'm working as an AWS cloud engineer and looking for the job. Okay, but what do you suggest? Suppose I want to work with Kubernetes on Kubernetes skills, and I have to half of the knowledge. I can say, suppose I have taken one course and I have completed 50% of that. So looking the job in that skill directly without having any certification or the complete knowledge is okay, or first to take the knowledge needful, whatever is needful, and then to check for the job. What is the okay?
Okay. So first learn, then run, or first run, then learn? That is what you are asking.
Yes.
Okay. In my other way of explaining, walk, run, then fly. Right? So, buddy, tell me a company where you want to start your Kubernetes journey, even though you are not certified, but you are enthusiast. Tell me a company. If you know any company where you can be given the opportunity to work on Kubernetes and Kubernetes related technologies without you being certified on Kubernetes and not having prior experience on Kubernetes, but you understand cloud and several other things. Tell me a company.
Sorry, I didn't understood exactly.
I said, tell me a company which can give you a platform to work on Kubernetes, even though you are not certified.
I think so many companies can give me a chance.
Exactly. So you need to look for companies who will not look for your training and certification badges, rather your confidence, your willingness, so that the sponsor of your work can give you the opportunity, hey, you come on board and start the work and you learn on the go. And those are those nimble, agile, companies who allow people to learn on the go.
Okay, I got my answer. Thank you very much, Deepak.
Okay, so you need to look for those kind of companies, not the big, large, organizations where you'll be lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Deepak.
Yeah. Most welcome. Any other questions, guys, before we wrap up? So we talked about community, we talked about the topics, we talked about how you earn this t-shirt and how will you earn a badge, okay, which we will be releasing, a lapel pin, and 58,000 rupees worth reward, every month to a captain who is delivering 4 meetup topic and conducting workshops in his company or in any company, physically or virtually inviting 40 people. Okay, so that is going to be the community, for all of us, where all of us learn and grow, right, from each other, and we will strengthen the community on all these aspects which we talked about. Okay, so if there are no other topic, we will give this session a rest and get back to our weekend.
Yeah, Deepak, this is Nagendra. One question, Deepak.
Yeah, Nagendra.
Okay, so in case actually, while working, if I find any issues from the community, is there any chance I can get and okay, get to help actually to solve that particular issues? In case if I get any query, any concerns, okay, while working on my platform. So from the community, is there any chance so I can interact or get an help?
Okay, so I have this question for community members because I don't want to own this. Because if you ask me a problem, either I know the solution or I'll rope in somebody who knows the solution. But I want people to respond to your question. How many of you think that Nagendra, if he comes up with a problem, you can attempt to make a help? Raise your hand. Yes. Nagendra,
Yeah,
got your answer?
yeah, thank you. But I need actually the contact or
Yeah,
any
but at
email
the
address.
same time, Nagendra, what did I say? Community means
Okay.
you contribute and consume.
Give back.
Right? So if you only consume and you are not contributing, what community will do? Will pull their hand. So that's what I said, right? Don't restrict yourself. If you are a monitoring, security, tester, database administrator, come and share your knowledge, because the administrators, the cluster administrators, the operators, they may get benefit from you. Similarly, you can be benefited. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I
And that
got
is
it.
why
You
we
are
talk about community. Okay, here there is no commercial exchange. Nobody is going to talk about, I will give you 1 lakh, 2 lakh, this thing, except the sponsorer. I'm saying that, okay, I want to motivate people. What's in it for you, right? So that's why I said, okay, I would like to sponsor one training or certification for you, provided you are contributing to the community. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
I'm a
Thank you all to
sponsor.
that. Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks.
so thank you all for joining on Saturday. It was great interacting with 40, 50 of you. If we could not speak with you, please make a point that, okay, you introduce yourself next time and watch my LinkedIn post and post coming from community members. I would appreciate you take a picture and post it on LinkedIn that we have began Kubernetes captain journey. All the best to all Kubernetes aspirants, and I wish to see you as the captain. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good time.
Thank you very much, Deepak.
Same here.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend
Thank you, team.
to all.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank
Deepak,
you.
are we creating a group link and then we'll be sending the link on the mails, or how is it?
Everything happening as we speak.
I'll share it. Okay.
I've got few volunteers, and I'm going to see a lot of volunteers in future. Okay. All the best, guys. Okay. And please look forward to receive the T-shirt if you have filled your form, and we will contact you and start couriering things to you. Okay. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye.
Bye.
So, guys, the forms, whoever is filling up the form, I'll just create the server once it's done, and I'll share it with you guys so that you can join and we can interact there. Thank you. I'll keep this up for the next few minutes before closing up.